We're live. It is Saturday. The Bay Area Media Pulse is live on YouTube. I am Rich Lieberman. Hope you're having a great Saturday and the rest of your weekend. If you're watching live, fantastic. Welcome to the show. If you're watching at a later date, we also welcome you here. Make sure it's a part of your regular viewing habit. Now, I'm going to give you some insight into a feud, a real feud. And you're not going to watch it. You're not going to see it. You're not going to read about it, certainly anywhere else. Because, again, nobody else wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to bring it up. It would threaten their interest. It would, perhaps wreak havoc with brands, something like that. But I'm not here to play favorites. I'm not here to gain any kind of friends. I'm here to tell you one of the reasons why you come here, to reveal the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So on KNBR and during the Giants broadcast, we have the Bill Laskey pre- and post-game shows. Bill Laskey, the former pitcher for the Giants, he very, very well respected, has now become a force, and I do mean a force, in the Giants broadcasting group. And the irony there is the fact that a lot of the Giants hierarchy, they're not too thrilled with Bill Laskey. Some even wanted him fired. Why? Because he had the audacity to say what was on his mind, to speak ill of the Giants' performance the last couple of weeks, certainly the last month, when they were just horrible. And Bill Laskey was real. He didn't sugarcoat anything. He was straight to the point. He echoed a lot of the fans' sentiments, and he told it like it is, which garnered him a lot of praise from fans. Didn't really garner him a lot of love from the Giants broadcasting hierarchy, including the one and only Big Bird, a.k.a. Larry Bird. No, not Larry Bird, Larry Bear. So Laskey was basically put to the broadcast book, put forward by none other than Martie Lurie. And Martie Lurie's been at this for about 15 years? And Martie Lurie and now Bill Laskey are now in a feud. They don't talk to each other. Martie Lurie is sort of ticked off at Bill Laskey, and I'll get into the details in a second. Laskey, it's more Martie Lurie aghast at Bill Laskey than it is Bill Laskey aghast at Martie Lurie. Bill Laskey's just doing his job. And Bill Laskey picked up an account that wanted to be identified with Bill Laskey. An account, a sales account that you hear, one of those many commercials that you hear during the weekend. This was a furniture store based in South San Francisco. They decided to stand up with Bill Laskey, not really to the pleasure of Martie Lurie. Bill Laskey's just doing his job. And this account said, hey, we want to advertise on your show too. So they did. Martie Lurie wasn't too thrilled. But here's the big gorilla in the room. You'll know about the Dwayne Kuip episode and his brother. More Glenn Kuip, I should point out, when he used a racial slur that got him fired from the Oakland A's. Well, there was a whole orchestrated PR campaign that everybody took part in, namely Lurie, Susan Slusser. The Giants hierarchy knew about it. They wanted to get Glenn Kuip back into the business. Everybody took part except Bill Laskey. He didn't go along with marching orders. He did his own thing. Martie Lurie has Glenn Kuip on regularly now, trying to get him back into the graces of the broadcasting domain. Really, the master plan is getting Glenn Kuip to eventually fill the vacancy sooner or later when Dwayne Kuip hangs it up and retires, as he was wont to do a couple of years ago, but changed his mind because he wanted to help his brother out. So now they're trying. Susan Slusser, the Chronicle, Martie Lurie. They're trying to get Glenn Kuiper back into the fold. Everybody, as I just said, except Bill Laskey. But Bill Laskey and Martie Lurie are not talking. And there's a feud, folks. It might be a little bit as much here rather than there, but it's a feud. Trust me. They don't talk. They don't even acknowledge each other on the radio. Yeah, look, professional courtesy, that doesn't exist either. You plug the person coming up next. Martie Lurie doesn't plug Bill Laskey. Bill Laskey has done the professional thing and has plugged the Martie Lurie show, the pregame show. Now, as of late, I don't know that to be 100% accurate, but I do know that Bill Laskey is trying to do his best professional stance. Martie Lurie, who there's a good chance will not even be back next year on the Giants broadcasting ledger. That's all up to the hierarchy at Cumulus and KNBR and the Giants to some degree. But make no mistake about it, there is a feud. They don't talk to each other. And as I said, it's more Lurie than it is Laskey. You know, Martie comes across as this happy, kind of go-lucky guy. You know, everything's hunky-dory. Baseball is a mosaic and all that. But believe you me, there is angst and anger and frustration and out-and-out hostility towards Bill Laskey. They just don't get along, and it's real. How it's going to shape out? Well, I think cooler heads will prevail. It hasn't affected their work on the air, but believe you me, it's at a point where it's a good thing it's the end of the season because both of these guys need to take a break and perhaps work it out, but it's really a feud, and it's not going away anytime soon, and there's a lot of resentment, trust me, particularly with the Kuiper element taking shape. That is something that should have been reported by Slusser. Should have been reported by maybe John Shea, but they don't do that. It would have been inconvenient for them. After all, especially with Slusser, she might as well be part of the booster club. She's more of a fan than she is a reporter. If this feud were happening with, say, the Chicago Cubs, the Dodgers, either of the New York teams, the Yankees, the Mets, Philly, oh my God, in Philly, there'd be a story. There'd be at least notice about it. There'd be talk about it. There'd be an article about it, but you don't get that in San Francisco because they're just part of the club. They might as well be, like I said, fanboys and fangirls. You got it here from Rich Lieberman. Hey, be a subscriber to my channel here on YouTube. I'm here virtually every day, and I will give you the ins, the outs of everything: sports, culture, entertainment, news, politics, religion, and everything. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you soon.